This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IPA Livecast. Great news, everyone. Dave Mustaine is making headlines again. And you know what that means. Every time Dave Mustaine is in the news, a ginger baby gets aborted. Also, the Livecast makes fun of Dave. But the dead ginger babies are more important. Our IPA Livecast starts now.
Shannon, are you okay?
What? I was gonna say that's a real throwback Livecast intro, man. That's like a 2014 job right there.
Yeah, like we're much happier people now, Shannon. Well, some of us.
What is she? Why does this? She's just stating fact. What does this have to do with her?
I think the editorial part was about the aborted babies
being more important than us making fun of Dave.
No, just bringing up aborted babies out of nowhere. I felt like that.
It's not out of nowhere. That's the rule. Anytime Dave is in the headlines, that's what happens. That's just the world we live in. That's a thing that happens.
She's just a reporter, you're saying.
Yeah.
This is not a judgment. This is great. I loved it.
I thought it was too far. Too far.
Well, listen, you're such a prude.
Rob believes ginger life starts at conception. So for him, this is a very personal issue.
Oh.
Well, I think initially we were all born gingers, and then we develop our actual hair color. Some just don't develop it and remain gingers forever. Just like how when the baby is first conceived, the gender is technically for everyone is female initially, and then eventually as it's more developed, male organs will get in there, but.
So you're saying go ahead, sorry.
Initially, everyone is a ginger girl, is what I'm saying.
You're saying gingers are colorless, featureless blobs, and then as we develop as people, we become real people. That's what
colorless, featureless, dickless.
Yeah.
Thanks for clarifying that, Rob.
Too far. Science Corner to kick things off this week. It's May 31st, the final day. Oh my God, of May. It's over, folks. May is done. May 2025 is in the history books. After
12
today.
hours. 12 hours to enjoy it.
And part of it is with us eating the minutes away with you. It's Rob here with Darren and Sid.
Hey,
as always, RIPLivecast.com.
I have a question for you. For the panel, I noticed Eddie Deason is now in the banner.
Yes, he's been in it since we mentioned him.
I may have not noticed it was in there last week, but it was, even confirms my point more. What I think does Eddie Deason have the shortest runtime from nobody knowing who the fuck he is to being in the banner? Is that
I think that has to be true. That has to be
maybe Queen of Melrose.
But I think Queen of Melrose is more known.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yes,
Cosmo is more known outside of this show as well.
You're right. Every one of these people in the banner are. I guess you could argue Douglas Levison or the Rabbi, maybe, but you could understand their placement here.
Well, the Rabbi is not a specific person. That's just like you found a picture of a rabbi.
Yeah, he's representing Judaism, which is very well known around the world.
And the shofar.
As is Eddie Deason, really.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, like no one knows that specific slice of pizza, but that's to show J2, of course.
Yeah,
and really, if you look, there's a little Easter egg on the crust of the pizza. It does say Jerusalem too. It's hard to see.
I see.
A little watermark.
It's not necessarily but.
I also love that the barometric pressure indicator is still there to represent Steve Harvey, not Steve himself. But.
Well, Steve used to be in there, but we eventually had to phase him out.
Can you,
we
Rob,
ran out of real estate, but
put a Steve Harvey mustache on the barometer?
Yes, I will update the banner.
Good idea.
Thank you.
For next week.
All right. Cleared all that up. There's Holodetz also on a nice table.
Some sperm for some reason.
The sperm is in the text of the logo, I believe. That's the.
I don't know if. Was that the intent?
Well, there's
Rob,
additional
like cum ropes all over the place.
No. I think
Because
the
it's all
sperm is
throughout.
reflective of like all the sex talk. Though. No,
Yeah.
that's supposed to be like radio waves.
Yeah, it's like
audio
radio waves, but you
No,
made them
but I'm
into sperm.
But I'm talking about not even where it says Livecast, but on either side. Like I see under the Holodetz, there's the 4 little sperm.
Yes, that's the
Sperm.
only indication.
But then
of sperm.
there's also like on either side, there's also like
Right.
little white strands that
Ropes.
look like
I
that
think
look
that's
right.
the
That's supposed to be audio waves.
the audio
Oh.
waveform of the show. Is
Yeah,
All right. It
yeah,
looks more like
exactly.
it looks more like jizz.
Because like as you see in the live cast, there's audio waves, so there's a lot of play on that.
Those are sharper than the spermy ones.
It's true.
They are.
I've
they
been
are
thinking
just-
about it's funny you mentioned that because I've been thinking about updating all of the backgrounds a little more, making them a little more animated.
Oh.
Oh,
Modern
animated
ones.
like literally, or like a still photo that's animated, like colorful.
No, moving. Yeah. A little
Oh,
more
nice.
May
moving.
I
It's visual.
suggest adding one of our AI Andre the Giant and Anne Frank images? Or is that
I
too
feel
far?
like Anne Frank is too far. I could do the Andre, but I feel like there needs not like we have much context for why we include Anne Frank, but completely out of context. It's very weird.
I'm curious to go back and why did we start inserting Anne Frank into things? I can't remember now.
I think that was just me
It was
thinking it's
definitely
funny to
Sid.
make jokes about Anne Frank. I don't think there's anything beyond that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it
It's
was just
quite simple.
AI did
Maybe
it.
she's actually
It's
in the
our
band
Brahma.
already. She's hiding under that table. Or in
She
Kaya's
is the table.
Shmata.
Yeah. Can't hide Andre. Is that why the table is in there? I am the table. Holding the Holodetz.
Yes, absolutely.
2 for 1.
That's the table.
Should put James's head on top next to the Holodetz because he is the table. He's angry in that photo because he's not that table. He wants
But
to
he
be
can
all
smell the
tables.
Holodetz.
Yes.
Who wouldn't be?
I feel like there's been a lot of Holodetz content on the internet lately.
Is that right?
Or maybe it's just my algorithm.
Yeah. Maybe but the people are discovering the horrors that
Yes.
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
Holodetz. It's on TikTok all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to remember this guy. This guy on TikTok is like this viral guy who has a Russian wife.
Oh, I see. So she eats the horrific things that in Russian cuisine, and it's like a TikTok channel.
Right, like it's more like of the perspective of like, oh, my wife's mom, Baba, came over or whatever.
I see.
And she made us do this and or something like that, And one of them recently was about Holodetz. And so I'm just like, man, it's just all over the place.
We covered that already. We tread that ground.
Yeah. Like I feel like we're really on the front lines of the Holodetz criticism, of the aspic salad criticism here.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
And,
criticizing it. You're praising it. The rest of us are criticizing.
True.
In 2031, all these people will be covering like Shlomo and Eddie Deason.
Has Shlomo ever eaten Holodetz, do you think?
I would imagine so, right? I feel like
He's at least walked past a supermarket on Kings Highway that sells it. So he's aware of it at the very least.
Right.
I'm not sure he's aware of much, to be fair.
All right, I found the guy.
Oh, boy.
Okay, let's see this. I'm curious
So
how his commentary
this
differs
is
from ours.
Sorry, weird. There we go.
Hello.
All right, so this is the guy and his wife. As you can tell, they live in Florida, and he, as you can see, he just posts like, "Oh, I tried this Russian salad. I tried kvass, which is non-alcoholic beer in Russian,
From potatoes, right? Something.
Yes, yeah. My favorite cake, Midovik, Russian honey cake. This thing. Oh, I'm so addicted to it. It's so
I've had
soft and
that before.
fluffy. Yeah, very, very good. And then here he tried Holodetz. So let's.
Holodetz. I was told it's a delicacy, a tradition, a classic, a celebration dish. What I wasn't told is that I'd be eating chicken suspended in what looks like leftover knee surgery. Cold, dense chicken pieces trapped in a meat jelly where every bite kind of moves as one unit. It looks more like it should be studied than served.
Yeah.
The horseradish helped, I guess not so much with flavor, but with morale. I didn't enjoy it, but I didn't quit. I kept going, not out of hunger, but out of respect, because Holodetz isn't served for your pleasure. I mean, it can't be. It's served because it means something. A reminder that tradition isn't always comfortable. You don't have to like it. You don't have to get it. You just eat it, even if the food jiggles a little bit. I tried.
I love that, like, in the comments, a lot of it is just like, oh, it's because you didn't have vodka beforehand. Like, what?
Okay.
Like,
yes, numb your senses before you
need to
do
be
it.
shit-faced and drench it in horseradish. Do everything you can to dull your senses and disguise the taste.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll enjoy it. Okay.
At that point, you're just you're eating something disgusting. Like, just admit it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. This guy's name is Derek DeGrazio, if you'd like to follow him for his fun takes on an Italian man discovering Russian food and Russian culture.
For all we've said about Holodetz, Russian stores have terrific desserts. They're my go-to. This place around here is my go-to for desserts. Like, they even make the Italian cookies. You know, those by the pound cookies that they have in Italian bakeries.
Yeah.
The Russians have beaten them in that arms
Wow.
race. They are killing it in the Italian cookie department.
Not rainbow cookies, though.
They have rainbow cookies. They're not the best, but all the other types of cookies are incredible.
I will say, because of growing up on Russian baked goods, when I started in high school, having Italian friends and trying Italian treats, it was a little jarring to the palate initially how different they tasted. And it took me a while. Like, I didn't really like cannolis initially, for example. I don't like the cream. But I've come to learn that it was just I had a shitty cannoli. I've had great cannoli since.
Yeah, of course.
But
I don't like the cream in the cannoli. I like that.
It could be too heavy, I think, or like too sugary.
See, for me, the problem is when it's too neutral.
Oh,
like I want the cream to be sugary, so I know I'm eating something other than just a shell.
I like it to be a little light, like fluffier, fluffier cream, a little more custardy. I would prefer.
That's fine. Yeah,
I like when they.
I've had. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
When they make the cannolis or when they make the eclairs with whipped cream, I like that better. And then replace the custard out. Custard or the cheesecake. I am not a big fan of cheesecake for that reason. I feel like cheese and the sugar don't go together for me. I know I'm in the minority on that. I don't hate cheese. Like, if I eat a slice of cheesecake, it's okay.
but it's not your favorite dessert treat.
Exactly.
Now I want some
I feel like I grew up watching Golden Girls, so it was beaten into my head that cheesecake was the ultimate dessert. So as a kid, I just thought that was like the coolest thing to have because Golden Girls were eating it.
Because 4 elderly women told you it was the coolest thing.
Yeah. But they were funny, Darren.
I love the show.
Women.
Love the show. Don't say hip when you're talking about 4 80-year-old women.
It's a timeless program. I still watch reruns, and they're still great.
Sure. I will admit to like feeling a little guilt because I didn't like cheesecake that much, and my 4 idols did love cheesecake. I have. Did you ever see my Golden Girls candles that I had when I lived with my ex-wife?
I think so. Yes.
They were like the Virgin
like the
Mary.
Jesus candles.
Yeah. The prayer candles.
I don't know where they are. She doesn't know where they are. They got lost in the move somewhere. I don't know.
Damn.
They're missing. I want to buy some new ones, but I can't find the exact ones I had, and none of them. It's very sad for me. I love the Golden Girls.
Yeah.
I'm sure you could find like a bunch of unwanted RBG candles to take their place. Those are probably selling at very discount prices nowadays.
Gross.
I've definitely seen those, like watching the news, you see them in the background of like various talking heads.
Oh no. This is who rules us.
RBG candle. A different kind of Golden Girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so golden.
I do want to acknowledge our captions here. We talked about I got some tickets a few months ago. I was like, I can't wait for the weather to be nice. I want to go to as many shows as I can. And again, my rule for shows lately, I've mentioned previously, for the most part, is I'm only going to see artists that I have not seen before or that I haven't seen in a long time. And so Block Party is an artist that I've never seen, and that like I just
You didn't go with me that time I saw Block Party?
No.
Way back in, I think we were living together when I saw them.
Yeah, well, I kind of got into them a little late, a little after they released their first album, but I really, really like them. I got into them at my old job. It was on the community iTunes. It was just constantly played in the office, and I was like, yeah, this is great. While like I would be listening to that and then just metalcore or whatever, but I never really saw them. And then I saw it's like the 20th anniversary of that album, which I love, and they would be playing it in full.
Which is it? Silent Alarm? Is it that one?
Yeah, it's the only album that really matters. I mean, I've listened to some of their other stuff. It's fine, but it's not. It doesn't have the oomph of the first one.
Yeah, I saw them at Webster Hall in 2008. You sure you weren't with me for that one?
Yeah, no, I would have remembered. I've never seen them. I would never have gone to an indie show in 2008 is what I'm trying to tell you. Like that just
But Webster Hall, it's not that indie.
But it's like it's just the band itself wasn't quite my vibe, even though I like the music. But it's like rainy and gross today. And as we discussed, Forest Hill Stadium, it's an outdoor stadium. It's in a public park, but it's in a private community where you cannot park. So I have to park like a mile away from the venue. I'm just being a little bitch.
I mean, I think I remember you discussing that you were going to go to this show. Maybe it wasn't this show, but a show there.
I went to a show last year there, yeah.
Oh, okay. But my point being, like you said, when you book a show there, it's so far off in the future. You're like, oh, it'll be fine. And then the day it comes, you're like, I fucking hate myself. Mm-hmm. So now we're at that day.
I should kill myself.
We're at that day.
Yes.
Are you going to drive there, or are you taking transit?
Yeah, driving to Forest Hill. Forest Hill is like the other side of New York at this point.
I'm going to pitch a new rule that will never be put into place, but I think this would be perfect on many levels for not just Forest Hills concerts, but all concerts in general. No more of this bullshit where tickets go on sale a year in advance, 6 months in advance. Tickets go on sale morning of the fucking show. Because that way,
like
if you're
a week
buying
before.
No, Rob. No. Morning of the fucking show. That way, first of all, scalpers, they're not going to have enough time to necessarily scalp the ticket. Right. So it's going to bring scalping way down in general. And also, for people like us, it's that I'm not going to change my mind in 10 hours, So if I'm willing to buy the tickets that morning, then I'm actually excited to go to the show. And I will go, and there will be no regret. So I think that's the perfect way to do it. There's always going to be enough people that want to you take scalpers out of the equation. There's going to be people buying those tickets that actually want to go. So it's not like ticket sales will go down. I think this is the way
I think they will, though, because it's people like to plan things. A lot of people with a lot of these shows, not necessarily this one, but people travel from out of state. They want to make plans to like fly in or whatever.
Fly in?
Or like, what if you already have plans tonight? And you can't cancel them. But if you had known a week ago, you would have.
Well, no, they'll announce the tour dates in advance. It's not like they're like, surprise, we're playing Brooklyn tonight. It's like, no, here's our tour. But
but then there's the issue of like, well, what if you can't? What if they're so popular that the show sells out and you don't get tickets? So now you have no plans to like. It's a tough.
All right, I mean that's shows sell out. That happens.
Tough shit. Deal with it.
Part of life. You make new plans, go to a restaurant or something. It's fine.
Oh my god!
But this whole thing,
my Russian mother-in-law is.
Sorry.
Like I bought. I don't even remember when I bought tickets to whatever show, and now I see it coming up on my calendar. I'm like, oh, really? Like that would be eliminated. That would be completely eliminated.
Yeah,
you could just avoid this whole thing by just liking more things. How about that?
Yeah, good luck.
Be less miserable.
That's as likely as this rule ever being implemented. I guess if I was rich, I could just wait until day of and buy whatever tickets I wanted for whatever the secondary market charged and not care. But I am not rich.
How much more is it? Is it that bad?
I mean, it depends on the show, I'm sure. But I think even face value now is crazy expensive. So
really,
yeah, I agree with you.
It's gone way up for every level of band.
Damn. Yeah, like shows that used to be $15 or $30 now. Like this block party show was over $100.
That's fucking crazy.
I agree. Like I was like,
Crazy.
whatever, $80, whatever. And it was like, nope. It's like $100, but I was like, all right. Anytime I always have that initial like, what? And then I'm like, yeah, I guess this is what they cost now, to a point. Like the Beyonce tickets. I know it's an extreme example, and not really too hype on this current album cycle. I prefer the previous one, but just to get into the stadium for nosebleeds for Beyonce is $400.
Oh, come on now.
Like $350 or whatever, something like that. The day of the show, I was like, surely tickets have gone down a little bit.
Beyonce.
I mean, you could. There was someone I saw on TikTok that like found floor seats for like 600 or like 500, but even still, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. And then how much was it for Taylor Swift? Probably even more, right?
Yeah, like right around. Yeah, exactly. It was like that for like Lady Gaga. I wanted to go to, but she's playing arenas. She was playing the Garden, which in itself has its own fucking markup tax, as we've discussed. And it's the same thing. Just nosebleeds was like $500. Like fuck out of here. Nothing.
That's exploitative. I feel like that's you poor people that want to go see Beyonce are just fucked.
Well, that, or they have to say, instead of being like, I'm going to go to like half a dozen concerts this year, they have to be like, no, I have to save all my money to go to this one concert. And then the other bands that they would have gone to see lose out because people can't afford to buy tickets to other shows because they spent their entire fucking entertainment budget on a fucking Lady Gaga ticket. So it really fucks over the smaller bands. And the smaller bands that have to charge higher prices, whether they want to or not now, just to keep up. And just because of what the venues demand.
What artists are you seeing, Sid? Did you mention that?
I am seeing the band Mama. I think I picked one of their songs for the playlist not too long ago. It's like they're a new band, but they sound like 90s female-fronted alt music, like sort of Veruca Salt-ish. It's good. And those tickets were actually somewhat reasonable. They're like $30-something a ticket.
Yeah, like that's...
Which is fine.
That's as low as you're going to get, I feel, nowadays.
Get to eat some pierogies before the show. It's going to be lovely. Make a night of it.
That is nice. I am looking forward to seeing my friends. That's the nice part of it.
Which friends?
Buddy Anthony, his wife.
Oh.
Some of their friends.
Oh.
So it should be nice. I haven't seen them in a few. So there's that aspect of it. And I like that, Darren, you just avoid going to concerts at all costs.
Yeah.
It's a larger thing of me being extremely busy, and a lot of the people that I now associate with are just not, concert oriented, I guess. But I would go to a concert if like this situation arose. It's just,
What's the number one act that if they announced a show, you would definitely...
System of a Down.
Okay.
100%. Metallica is probably my favorite band ever, but I've
seen
I'm
them going
800 times already. You're going when?
Down's playing this summer.
Am I invited?
Sure, if you want, if you can get a ticket. I mean, I'm sure you can get a ticket because I got the day. I forget which day I got.
I've been to a System of a Down show with Rob and Sid once at Jones Beach.
Yes, we didn't go together though. I don't believe.
Yeah,
we got there together. I went. I thought I went with Rob, and then Sid was there. Is that how?
Yeah, I think I was there with Lonnie, but we might have seen each other during at some point. I just remember Steve Buscemi was there with his young son. He was sitting a few rows in front of us, and his son had a big afro.
I don't remember that at all.
That's all I remember.
I remember that was the most confusing show bill that I've ever seen, because
it was Meshuggah, right? It was one of the openers.
Well, they were playing in the daylight, but it was System of a Down and Down, which is like it's so hard to say. Just Phil Anselmo's other band, Down.
That cheapest tickets for that today would be at least $200.
Yeah, and Meshuggah opened. They were playing.
Yes, I paid $350 for a floor seat to System of a Down.
Oh my god!
Wow, who's opening? Who's on that show?
Corn and
okay, that's a huge.
It's a giant stadium. Yeah,
I mean, I've seen them before. I don't need to pay $350. No offense, Rob. I'd like to go to a show with you, but that's
no. I'm not offended at all. I've been wanting to see System of a Down for like since the last time I saw them. But
Darren, here's the trick: go to the show and wait online outside, and then when Rob sees you, he'll ask you some trivia questions, and then if you get all of them right, he gets you in for free.
I get to be the roadie, like for Gene Simmons.
No, that costs more than the ticket would.
No, I'm sure you'll be able to find a ticket day of show for like $100, like a good seat, just because people are going to be desperate to get rid of it. And all this stuff is overpriced now. You just have to. You have to work the scalps.
From you though, he'd be there by himself, more or less.
Well, maybe. I mean, I have a GA floor, so maybe you could find a GA floor for cheap.
Oh, then that would be perfect.
Yeah,
you got to remind him day of to do this.
We'll do.
Livecast field trip.
Going to that. I'm going to see 9 Inch Nails for my birthday.
Even more
again.
expensive. Where's that one?
Well,
is that more
Barclays.
expensive? I wouldn't think that would
it was about the same price.
Oh.
It was about the same price, but I got cheaper ticket. I spent like the floor seats were also $300 something, but I was just like, all right, I can't just keep doing this. And so I got behind the soundboard lower bowl, which I'm excited about. And it was like 150.
Can't blow all that retirement money on shows,
If it's not that, then drugs.
Damn.
And food.
Sunflower seeds.
So, yeah, I need to find a new sunflower seed supplier. They're getting very expensive. Boy. They're up to $650 now. All these tariffs.
Yeah, the sunflower seed tariffs are breaking your back. Make you humble.
All right. Well, Shannon mentioned it at the top of the show, but Dave Mustaine's been giving some interviews lately. It's been surprising.
Does he have a new album or something? Like, what's he promoting that he's talking so much?
I believe they're not actively promoting a new album. Like, they will be releasing a new album very soon. Like, I think they're finishing one up, but like, it's not like it's been announced or anything.
Okay.
And we did mention how like there was management changes a year or so ago. But what kind of struck me is that his previous management kept his mouth shut. Like they did
their job.
Yeah.
They managed them.
Yeah, and so I'm sorry, I'm just queuing up this video. He apparently, as we've discovered in the past, he's quite a fan of conspiracy theories. And like, he was on Alex Jones's show and all the stuff. And you don't really hear him talking about politics. Like since the Trump administration since the first Trump administration, he's been off the politics. But like right before, you might remember he started saying stuff about Obama, how some shootings were staged.
Yeah.
And it was just like, what are you doing? And so his previous management kept a curb on that. Current management, I guess not so much, because I guess he's talking about the deaths of Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell as part of a greater conspiracy. Here, let's see what he said.
What has been an explosive start in the trial of Sean Combs today. A former member of the musical group Danity Kane is set to return to the stand to testify in the case against him.
Talked about Dave Mustaine on CNN.
Anything the kids?
What is?
No, I don't know. That was
just somebody edited that for context.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about to say, man, if he's on CNN, that's big time.
This is the.
Is that Dana White?
Sean Ryan apparently is this guy.
The fuck is that?
He doesn't believe in lighting, I think.
Yeah.
Like there's only just one light on the bottom for some reason.
Very
this
strange.
one over here, I guess.
Anything that kids that want to get into this type of industry need to watch out for.
In the music industry?
Oh, Dave's face.
Yeah, you have to be very careful from the pedophilia. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's in TV right now.
Wise words from the Mustaine camp.
With Jeffrey Epstein, with all these people that are coming
Oh,
out now,
Epstein.
getting busted for these crazy orgies and sex parties and everything. That breaks my heart to think that somebody that was an adult with a functioning mind, no matter how depraved it is, but that they would assault an innocent child. That to me is.
Is it okay to assault a guilty
I
child?
don't
Like
know
if the
why
child's
there isn't
asking for it,
stricter
that's
punishment
fine.
for that.
Why do we need to put innocent in there as like a
If the child murdered somebody, he's saying
fuck
it's
away,
excusable. To
plow
rape.
that bad boy?
It's not good to rape, but excusable maybe.
Okay.
Did you say
That's
bad boy as a pun on purpose?
I didn't even think about it.
It's reprehensible, and I don't know why there isn't stricter punishment for that. I think a lot of it is because we just don't know what's happening.
Wow, Dave's really coming out with the
Yeah, guys,
heavy artillery hot takes. We should punish pedophiles more.
Did
Thank
he
you.
say that?
Bold stance.
Watching
Make
the
them listen
timeline
to
surrounding when help arrived.
You know what
for
else we
Cornell
should
and
do?
if the
Arrest
action-
people like Michael Vick who fight pit bulls against each other. That's very bad.
No, you can't say that.
Only the innocent pit bulls. If the asshole pit bulls, it's fine.
Okay, fair enough. We'll take it under advisement.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, some have questioned the timeline surrounding when help arrived for Cornell and if he actually killed himself. Police say an exhaustive investigation found no holes in the timeline or anyone's stories. But what we learned today, if the
That's what
bodyguard
they
is
wanna
being
tell you,
believed,
of course.
hotel security and protocol delayed anyone from getting in that room.
Well, there are a lot of people that are very famous musicians. The rumor has it they were executed because they were getting ready to expose
The rumor.
pedophilia.
Executed as in killed?
Well, the rumors going around about Chester from Lincoln Park and about Chris from Soundgarden was that they were making
People
a
who
movie
famously
on-
broke stories in
child.
the news over the years.
Yeah.
Two journalists, Chester Bennington and Chris Cornell, like Woodward and Bernstein.
They were about to release a documentary to expose this ring.
They were going to do a co-headlining
With-
tour
within 3 years
about
of each
pedophilia.
other.
And it would all be sung,
both
all of
gone.
it. The
Yeah.
entire documentary narrative would be sung.
You think it's a coincidence that Bennington was replaced by a Scientologist there, and it's all fucking connected? Come on.
The diddling kids every day.
By the way, Dave is having a great hair day today.
Oh my God,
good.
his face looks like it's melting. Come on.
That makes a good
I
point.
said he's having a great hair day.
But it's next to his face. It's going to look better.
Comb
It's
more
like-
of that hair over the face. That'd be an even
It's like-
better hairdo.
It's like putting a shitty Checkers cheeseburger next to Holodetz. It looks like the best thing you ever ate.
Oh my God.
They're both gone, and it's very suspicious.
Did you
Is
deal
it?
with any other types of abuse, any sexual abuse, anything like that?
It
Do you
depends
think
on
Dave
what people say
also thinks
abuse
it's very
is, but
suspicious when his band members keep leaving? Like he blames that on pedophilia also? It's like,
So
where's
if you
Dave
see stuff
Ellefson,
that
man?
you
This is
shouldn't
very
see,
suspicious.
that's
What
false.
happened?
And I saw stuff.
Marty
that
Friedman
shouldn't
doesn't return my calls anymore. Those fucking pedophiles must have gotten to him, silenced him.
Once you die and you let everything go, you cross over into this other realm.
What?
And then
What is
the
going
other
on?
realm that you cross over into is like pure bliss, very euphoric. I swear, I think it's like a spiritual realm that we don't have access to.
Holy cow!
Holy
Man,
cow.
You got some good.
It's a toad venom.
You're even crazier
What?
than me.
What the fuck is going on?
I think that was God talking to me.
Oh, Dave's gonna get up
You've
in the
never
middle of
done
this.
them
This
in,
is
like-
whacked out
Yeah.
bunker stuff.
Therapeutic setting. With
This
a
guy also think the
specific
devil is
intention.
beautiful?
Not yet.
Yeah, he is
but
very
your
red.
Story sure made me think.
What is going on?
But your story sure made me think. And by the way, that's not black; it's like dark purple.
What?
The aura.
Mhm.
It's still
this
there.
cat-
Have you seen
camera-
energy fields around people?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I wouldn't say I've seen that, but can you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Who do you see energy fields around?
I see it on you right now.
Oh shit!
God.
Two nitwits talking to each other for 2 hours.
What a weird. Like, Rob, I bet you've heard conversations like that in saunas. Like right before one dude blew another dude, they're just like, "I see energy around you."
Let me suck it out.
Yeah. Open that towel. I need to see if there's any energy down there.
I just realized this whole podcast is the narrative of the song "Sweating Bullets." He's just talking to himself, another crazy person.
That was fucking weird and awkward. Like, they could have tightened up the editing to make it seem a little bit less awkward. There's just a lot of weird silences where they're both
This
like,
guy
"Hey,
has
is this person
over
insane?
four-
Am I insane?
Over 4 million subscribers.
Who is he? What's his deal other than this show?"
I just saw him
Alright.
interviewing somebody else, some wrestler or something. I don't remember somebody else who it was, but
He's a former Navy SEAL, former CIA contractor, special.
Oh,
operations
so this is
coverage
Dave's
for
friend in the
veterans.
CIA.
aha.
Mm.
I also, did you notice the cameraman was I think the cameraman's like in on the joke with us, and he said when Dave says a crazy thing, he would just stop and push in on the silent part. I'm like, look what a fucking dumbass this guy is. Zoop. That was pretty cool. Credit to you, cameraman.
That's why, I'm like, is this a bit? Like, it feels almost Tim and Eric-y, but then there's the punchline never comes.
It's Tim and Eric if either Tim or Eric wasn't in on it. That's Dave. They just construct these elaborate, wild, weird sketches, and one of the people is totally sincere about it.
It's very bizarre.
I can see your aura right now. It's like each one of them is playing a game to try to get the other one to crack and go, "This is too crazy."
Mentally ill chicken.
I think there's not enough people going after pedophiles.
So on the this whole interview, by the way, is over 3 hours long.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
So if you need I guess I could do this. I could do this before my show.
Is this our next watch along?
So he's a Navy SEAL that's into conspiracy theories, and he's not Jesse Ventura. Is that what we're saying?
And of course, during this 3-hour conversation, the topic did get to Metallica.
Oh, of course,
obviously,
of course.
And
I saw Metallica down in Area 51 when I was living in Baja.
And this is an hour and a half into the interview, so he's pretty relaxed. And by relaxed, I assume to mean like more loose tongue, like he's ready to speak his true mind as opposed to hold back. Oh, by the way, are we in someone's man cave or is this a green screen? I can't decide. Help me.
I think it's a set to look like a man cave.
Yeah, well, that's right. Is it an actual physical? Is it a physical set or is it a green screen?
No, I think it's actually there. I think.
Okay.
Let me look more. I wasn't really looking for that.
He rented out Paramount Studios. He's got 4 million followers.
Yeah.
Something else to do. So I got a newspaper called The Recycler, and it's just a rag from Los Angeles, Orange County. It's like a county classified ad magazine. And I'm looking in the classified ad magazine. Go figure, the biggest band in the world would advertise in this
they weren't,
newspaper.
Ben.
Yeah.
So I look at it.
Not until they met him.
Wanted lead guitar player, and mentioned a couple bands. So I called up and I got Lars on the phone and I said,
"Oh, is he gonna do a Lars voice?"
I like Motorhead, I like Budgie. And he goes, "You like fucking Budgie, man?"
Yes,
and I went,
that's a good
I
impression.
do. And that was the icebreaker, because Budgie is a Welsh band. It's a 3-piece. It's very obscure. And by me listening to them showed that I had credibility in the new wave of British heavy metal world because of the bands I was listening to. They were not a band like a white metal band or a progressive
Everybody
metal
knows
band.
Budgie by
They
this
were a
point. You don't have to
3-piece from
explain
Wales.
Budgie.
That
Right? I mean,
kicked
Metallica
ass.
popular.
They didn't have to have all those silly names in front of it.
And how did that develop?
How did that develop?
It almost sounds like this is a therapy session.
Tony,
Yeah.
How did you feel about Budgie?
Yeah.
You had a new friend that also likes budgie. Didn't that make you happy?
Okay. Yeah. So we were on the phone, and he made that comment that I know them, and I said, yeah. So we talked about meeting face to face. And I drove down from Huntington Beach to Newport Beach, where he lived, in a place called I think it was called Park Newport. And the funny thing was, my mom was a maid, and she had actually worked event for catering in his complex he was in. And I'm thinking, go figure. My mom was a maid here, and your mom has a place here. What a story that is. The two sides of a different coin, you know, or two different sides of the same coin. And so I went into his place and started talking to him. And he played this song called Hit the Lights that was written by a guy named Lloyd Grant. So Metallica didn't write that song. Lloyd Grant wrote it. And then he was friends with Lars. And then Lars introduced him to James. And then they started playing Hit the Lights. That's the song that I heard from them first. And I said, wow, this song needs way more lead solos in it.
Yeah.
It's just me being cocky, being me. It needs more lead solos
At
in
least
it.
he admits.
And he was trying to figure out if I was for real. And so we went to rehearsal. He said, we're going to try you out. I said, okay. So, I mean, I knew how good I played. I've been gifted, and I know it's not by my own doing, so I don't try to take any credit for it. So
no, never wants credit, Dave.
How good I am or not, or what people say or anything like that.
Oh.
So I just knew what I knew. And I went to Ron McGovney's parents' fourplex. They had this place that James was living with Ron. And I went up there with Lars, and I set up my amps. I plugged my guitar in, and I just started warming up. That's it.
And they were impressed.
They wouldn't come in.
What do you mean they wouldn't come in?
What do you mean
they wouldn't come into the rehearsal room?
Why does this guy sound like Christian Bale as Batman?
Yeah, it's very off-putting.
My guitar down, and I thought, this is really strange. And I walked out and I said, guys, are we going to do the audition? They said, you got the gig.
No shit.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
Good. I knew I was going to get it.
How did that feel? It felt terrible.
Yeah. Because I could play that stuff. I mean, there weren't very many guitar players like me around at the time. You know, who were they? Randy Rhoads. There were people like that. Guy from Rat with Warren DeMartini was really great. You know,
there aren't people like me around now either.
Real critters. There wasn't a lot of us around at the time.
Only because gingers have such short lifespans.
What was the experience like joining that band and becoming the spokesman and the lead guitarist? And I mean, was that surreal for you at all? Or
well, again, it's kind of like I said, it seemed like this was what my destiny was. And when it came time for us to do our first concert, we played at a high school, or maybe it was a junior high school Lars might have gone to. I know he went to it, but I can't remember if it was elementary.
He went there to pick up his girlfriend.
Junior or high school, whatever. And from that point on, it was just clear that whenever there was any kind of altercation that was going down, I would be the one that would take care of it. You know, James was very peaceful, and Lars, you know, he was a little bit of a devil.
Oh,
you know, he liked to have fun, but
yeah,
if there was ever any stuff going down, I had to take care of it. When we went up to San Francisco and did our first couple shows up there at a place called The Stone, I was the one who had to go and collect the money. And you know, there's a million ways to embezzle or to be corrupt when it comes down to running a club or bar. When it involves a band getting paid, they can say all kinds of stuff. And if you don't know, you don't know. And most kids my age at that time don't know. And
But I
they
was
try
smart
and
and
get
gifted.
money, and they'll say, well, you sold 200 tickets and you have a bar tab here, and so we're going to give you $150, and you know that they made a killing on their booze. You know that they made money on the
Tell 'em, Dave.
Food and snacks that they have there, and the
Yeah.
ticket prices. Plus they take a giant whack of your merchandise.
A giant what?
And that was my gig. I would go do that. When we decided we were going to move out to New York, that was because Lars had found somebody he wanted to manage us, this guy, Johnny Zazula, who had Megaforce Records. And he heard our demo tape.
Friend
and
of
No
the
Life
show.
till
It's so
Leather demo
fascinating
tape,
hearing
and he lost his
Metallica's
mind, just like
history
everybody else
through
in
the
my life.
eyes of Dave Mustaine.
And they
For the
wanted
50th time
to-
since
Yeah.
1982.
they had to come out and
I
record
feel
a
like
record.
I'm
And
hearing
while
an
we were on the way
audio
out-
book of a Kerrang article. And then 40 years ago.
I will say though, it does seem like authentically that the interviewer does not know the story somehow.
No, he doesn't not
Yeah.
just not know the story. He doesn't know anyone involved
Yeah,
in the story.
or he's just really good at sounding like a fucking idiot. I don't know which it is.
Well, I
Like-
think, well, his aura is infecting his ability to understand.
in a car crash. We were driving through the snow. None of us had to drive through snow except for Lars because he's
I want to
from
see his journey back to
And
Earth.
I'm
What's
driving
that
Yeah,
all
this
what
about?
is-
Ryder truck. It's a
scanning through the-
24-foot truck.
Journey
and it
back
had a
to
tow
fate.
bar, and it had
Oh.
James
Okay,
pickup
that's
on
less
it.
But I'm
interesting.
curious about this
So we went-
encounters with the supernatural.
Oh,
It's where the aura comes. That was in the trailer of this podcast, right? The aura stuff.
Oh, and satanic influences in Hollywood sounds
We got to
fun.
cover. It's our duty to cover all of this. Duty.
All right, let's jump in. We got the Metallica stuff. Like at this way, it's like let's get to the supernatural. Let's
Yeah. Okay.
a
Here we
good
go.
clearing
The
things.
devil.
And she had this Indian guy that was a Rajah come over. He was like a priest. that
Wait,
went on-
excuse-
Raja Rabba.
Rajah. He
You were
said it with a
possessed?
little
Oh, I know, it
faux
was
Indian accent.
Yeah,
Gee,
it was-
Raja. He rolled
I
his
had a-
R.
I had a friend. It was a Rajah.
Is he talking about the drag race queen?
Yeah.
Rob Miller would
Joe
like
Bear.
us to know in the chat that Mustaine fell off after sobriety in Jesus,
Facts.
and that Metallica are notorious plagiarists.
This is true.
was because we tried to get my life in order, and stuff just kept happening. And
My
we would go
life.
see people
Yes.
who were spiritual in nature,
Yeah.
and they would say that they see something. The priest that was in, we went to go see I forgot I told Darren all this stuff too. We had
Oh,
Darren?
You've been talking to Dave on the side? What the fuck?
What's going on, Darren? Why
Oh,
did you
that
tell us?
Sorry, I neglected to mention that we were having chats, fireside chats every week.
been talking about what had happened, Pam and I, and I said that I wanted to get rid of this. So we went to this person. Her name was, I think it was Caroline somebody. And
Caroline somebody.
her husband was a
Whatever.
amateur football player, so I thought it was legit. And she was a doctor, so she would do these.
Wait,
kind of-
her husband was a Green Bay Packer player, so I thought it was legit.
Yeah, just like Brett Favre,
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers. They're all anything they say. You could take it at face
Well,
value.
for
Ben
sure. you believe
Rajah.
anything Aaron Rodgers says.
Aaron
Rajah.
Rajah.
kind of clearing things. And she had this
Good one.
Indian guy that was a Rajah come over here to preach that did laying on hands, cupping, acupuncture. And so he came over and he said, when he was doing the acupuncture on me, he was meditating behind me and he fell over. And
No.
he said that there was a man with a silver turban that came out and said, I release him. And that's when he fell over. When we went to San
Wasn't there a
Francisco to
wrestling
go-
manager that had a silver turban? Who was that? What was that guy's name?
the Great Wizard.
Grand
the
There
Wizard.
you go. Yeah. Shout out.
Just so matter of fact. Maybe he was just watching wrestling.
Yeah.
Great
Oh.
Wizard was on TV.
I was watching a Bollywood movie about wrestling. and then he just fell over. And someone did an elbow drop on him. It was great.
This was the Grand Wizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
He's like, I never knew Dave Mustaine. What is he talking about? Guy's a little worm.
Me and the bull. The head of a bull came out of my chest. Out of my
What?
Yeah.
Shit.
And I didn't see it. I didn't feel it. I don't know what the fuck happened.
I remember
But
when I did
in
acid
the spirit
once.
world, you know, I don't know if I would see it because I don't know if I have that gifting to see the demons. But you know, he had said the same thing. So there were several people that had nothing in common that knew that there was something going on with me. And finally it broke. And you know, I remember getting baptized at some place in Northridge, California, and somebody, and this is freaky. This is freaky. Somebody had said that there was a lot of weird stuff going on in that room at the time, like chairs were moving around because there was a bunch of people in there that were getting baptized, and there was a lot of tongues being spoken and stuff. I didn't see any of that stuff, so I you know, I got to see it myself to believe it. But you know, I that's what I heard was going on in there, and I was thinking, man, that's pretty cool because if this whole God thing's real, and I live my life like there is a God, then I'm not going to regret it.
But I didn't, so I'm in trouble.
Supernatural.
Rob, can I ask you, like in the peak of your like metal injection guy interviewing bands career, would you have been able to get through 3 hours of being the interviewer in this interview? Like, if this was just Dave for 3 hours rambling about this shit, would you have been able to do it?
No, I mean, it would be hard. It'd be very hard to not zone out, I think.
Like, at some point, you'd be like, so during this baptism, what was the catering like? You'd have to take it to like
I'd have to,
live
like that's what I would do.
direction.
I would just sway it in a different direction where like I would be interested. Like I don't care about the supernatural stuff. Like, but with that said, now I do. Now I'm very engaged.
Wait till a demon comes out of your chest.
Not in the physical.
The head of a bull.
The head of a bull.
Yeah, but not in the physical.
Hello, bull. Meet the real bull.
But dumb.
Yeah.
But you know, you do too. You say you have dreams.
Oh, I've had several occurrences where I've experienced things, not necessarily seen, but heard or
feel. Walk into.
I had a giraffe come out of my chest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob once came on a bear's chest. Does that count for anything?
A lot of stuff like that. We have a song we wrote about some young girl named Mary Jane Twilliger who was a witch, and her dad found out.
Mary Jane.
This was in the city, right?
At least a
north
great
of where
song came out of all of this.
Ellison lived, and we went out there to go visit that place, and it was creepy. It was really creepy, but that was it. It was just creepy.
I wrote the Blair Witch Project screenplay 20 years before it came out.
I did hear, this could be another bit of folklore, but somebody pushed her headstone over, and when they went back to their car, they found their car keys on the hood.
Shit's wild, man.
Yeah,
just
wild.
nothing to say. Just,
He doesn't know what that story means any more than he knows who Lloyd Grant is.
One of them, I was interviewing a friend of mine, priest, his father, Dan Rehill. He's an exorcist. And I remember when he came in here, he was like, look.
Oh, wow. Like the supernatural is real.
Dave Mustaine with the head of a bull coming out of his chest.
And now, the starting lineup. Oh, Chicago Bulls. They'll come out of Dave's chest.
Really?
What do you think of his chest, Rob? It looks sort of David Hasselhoff.
I was going to say this is very flattering face render of Dave too, I think.
And he doesn't have ginger chest hair either.
Yeah. Is the ginger all allied? Is he a bottle ginger?
Can you make the bull a ginger so it fits his physiology a little better?
I'll break the AI if I try to do that.
So let's see. All right, that's supernatural. It's kind of lame. Psychedelics. Do we want to see his?
He's just gonna say it's bad.
Yeah.
All right. The Satanism in Hollywood. Then I'm curious about this.
Satanic
stuff. Somehow it's not Dave.
In music and lot of kids are aspiring to be a rock star, and actually, we have
Are
a
they
mutual
really?
friend. His daughter's really into it, and I know he is very concerned about the satanic stuff, the frequencies, and all that kind of stuff. Can you talk a
This
little
is
bit
1984. Like, what is
about
going on with here? Like, who is
what that
concerned
is?
about that?
I don't know exactly what you're talking about. With the frequency stuff.
That sums up this whole podcast.
And the Satan stuff you're
I'm with
talking
Dave.
about, can you be a little bit more?
I think what I'm getting at is more like satanic cults, and kind of like the band that you were just talking about in Israel that you had we're going to have an encounter with, and some of the stuff that you used to be into. Is that pretty? Is that running rampant?
No, I think that I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there was a festival that they were playing with some, I forget the satanic band on it, but he forced the band off the bill because he didn't want
wow.
Hello,
those
Satan,
circles.
my old friend.
See, that's the whole thing that I have to go back to. I don't
Wait, a
think anybody
satanic
that is
band was playing a show in
practicing
Israel?
witchcraft.
Maybe it was in
Hey,
Israel. I don't know. I'll find this part
That
of
would have
the
been their
interview.
natural
Gotta
first
go where your fans
choice, unless they had some kind of fractured paradigm for a functional, healthy family. You know, I'm not saying that it has to be a 2-parent family. Mine wasn't, and I turned out pretty good. My kids are great. Pam and I,
because they only have one parent.
Always taken the approach that both of us have a very significant role, and that is to do what we do 100% and be able to do what the other one does 100% in times of necessity.
So his wife can shred?
Is any
and do cameos?
of that stuff pushed on you?
Satanic music? No. I think the Geraldos of the world are in dire need of a severe censoring. You know, they've got a microphone and they're just
Geraldos?
blathering.
That's a very relevant reference,
holes, for lack of a better word.
This is actually a little bit more progressive take that I'd expect from him.
Readers,
he's against people screaming about satanic music, it seems.
Because
right?
he's one of the people they would scream about.
I did something like
right, yeah.
He's from that Tipper Gore era.
It was one of the network stations. They were trying to do an expose on satanic music and all that stuff. Same thing, basically what you're asking, but a different environment.
Just as dumb as you.
And I was just saying, you know, I believe that if somebody is trying something and it doesn't work, they're going to try something else, no matter what it is. Even if it's, you know, making toothpicks out of logs. If it doesn't work, they'll find another way. They have to. That's the way we are by human.
All right. I found the Israel part. It's in the supernatural section.
It was all. And she passed away there, but she was dead. Dead. Pam was hysterical.
Is that about a dog?
I said, let me pray over her.
Vince Neil's dog?
Oh, yeah. People that don't like what I sing about. People that don't like.
People put hexes on
Megadeth that may like other bands. There was a guy in the past. There was a band called Diaseed, and we were playing in Israel, and I was really excited about playing in Israel.
Does he mean deicide?
Is that really? Do you think?
Diaseed?
100%.
It's deicide. Yeah.
He can't not know how to pronounce deicide. That is fucking.
Well,
did he do it on purpose to not give them publicity?
He's just doing the whole "I'm too cool to know how to pronounce this correctly. I don't know them" thing.
And I wanted to see what Megadeth looked like in Israeli font, right? So look at the website for the festival, and it says the name of the thing, and it says our name, and then it says this band Diaseed. And I went,
definitely did.
What is that? So I looked it up, and the guy said that he's a Satanist and that I was his mortal enemy.
Are you serious?
Yes. And he'd already killed 2 people.
Is that true?
And
Glenn Benton
so
killed 2 people?
I figured, man, I walk in the light and I'm covered in the blood. And motherfucker, you're going to try anything with me, you're going to know. And so I went there. I went to go do the concert. I wasn't.
And he kicked my ass.
And,
Okay, so I want to. Okay, in the comments, somebody points out that he doesn't even have the band's name right. It's Dissection.
Did that guy kill 2 people for real, or is he messing that up too?
John from Dissection murdered 2 people. Yes.
Is that a band you guys have heard of or no?
Not
yeah.
me.
What's the deal with that band, Rob?
They're a little more obscure, but they're just a Swedish extreme metal band.
And was he really on a bill with them, or did he just Google some shitty band with
somebody and
no, tell a fake story about it? Okay.
Yeah, no. This is a true story. He just had the band name wrong.
I see.
Dias.
Make
up a word that doesn't exist.
Right, but is close.
I was gonna say, like, he has to know Glenn Benton. Like, he's hung out with Glenn Benton. Like, I refuse to believe they haven't.
Yeah, he didn't mean DSI.
Weird that
But Dice
walked next to the kid, and he bumped into him, and the guy goes, "Oh, sorry, sir." And I said, "Well, where is he?" And he goes, "He left." Wait, the guy that wants to kick my ass, we're in the same spot for the first time, and who knows how long or ever will be, and he leaves. So much for wanting to have a confrontation with me. And he's dead now.
Oh,
he's dead now.
Commit suicide.
Is he?
Wow.
So what I think happened is
this
guy,
guy's interviewing style it contributes nothing.
He was probably a good musician.
Just contributes awkwardness.
He probably had.
Wow.
What is that guy on? Is he on ayahuasca as he's doing this interview? Just like on another fucking planet? That's the aura.
Look at that Valium. He just sits there. Hello, Diacide. Meet the real Diacide.
Well, if we have
so
any
clearly
Sean
that guy killed himself because he was mean to Dave, and that's karmic punishment. Right?
It was the universe that killed him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Trump did this podcast 9 months ago. Wow.
Wow.
Maybe that's where I saw it.
Darren notoriously watches every podcast appearance Trump makes.
I haven't seen one actually. Only on
I think what. Okay, so I'm now looking at his most popular videos, and there's one with this former like SEAL Team 6 member. I think there was like some conspiracy about like how you don't even know about the deep state, like some bullshit like that. That went viral.
I tried to tell him, he wouldn't listen. I've been saying this stuff for years.
Jesse was the roadie for Diacide for a few years there.
Yeah, I carried their amps. They had pentagrams on every damn thing. Every amp, every guitar. I said, let me get out of here. I don't know what these guys are doing.
That just reminded me to look it up. And somebody finally has uploaded a video of one of Gene Simmons' roadies for a day.
Oh, boy.
Man, I spent 12 grand on that. Never again. What do you got?
Oh, I see. So the I'm just scanning through this video first. The roadie comes on and performs with him for the moment. But there's no speaking or anything, so screw that.
You only want to
Never
hear the
mind.
roadie talk.
Oh wait, here we go.
Nope.
Here they are.
Who are these dudes just filming?
Those are the roadies.
Those are the roadies?
Yeah, I guess
They're
it's
like a father and son.
thing.
How cute.
Carry those phones. They're very heavy. Put those phones over here.
Oh, here we go. There's a news report about it. Let's go.
Oh, boy.
Most important lessons for your 13-year-old son. What are your lessons to your son?
That kid's 13, looks 40.
Say something about eating pussy. What happened there? I missed it.
Sorry, I talked over. He takes me to shows of bands that he liked fucking 45 years ago. I love it.
Giving fans the opportunity of a lifetime, he is offering anyone the chance to become his assistant and join him on the road for one day.
For $12,000.
Opportunity is not cheap.
Rosado and his 13-year-old Zach paid more than $12,000 for this unique
Each.
experience,
Wolf.
and they both join us now to tell us all about it. Good morning to both of you.
morning. How are you?
Great, thank you. So I wanted to first. So you.
It's pretty amazing that blowing a quarter of $100,000 can get you on the news. Like this is news.
I mean, in what town? Where is this?
This is WGN, Chicago.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
damn.
So first question, who's Kiss exactly?
Fans rather of Kiss, right? And Gene Simmons himself.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So what was his
You're
opportunity?
fans of Gene Simmons and Kiss, right? She asks, as they're just covered in Kiss merchandise. There's Kiss merchandise all over the fucking, like, you know the answer. Move on.
Like when you got the opportunity, did you say, like, we need this. We need to have this opportunity. We have to be assistants to Gene
Yes.
Simmons.
Well, I was diagnosed with MS about a year and a half ago. And it was kind of a blessing in disguise, so to speak.
MS stands for money to
Made me
Simmons.
think
Yeah.
We'll never see that money again.
about life differently, and the opportunity came up, and it was Zach's
I love this guy's
13th
accent.
birthday gift. So we decided it's a once in a lifetime thing, and to do it.
So you got to be with him for a full day.
You know what
correct?
they say, you can't take it with
Yes,
you,
sir.
so give it to me.
Now that I do want to clarify, they did only pay $12,000, right? Because it's like you are allowed to bring someone for your roadie for a day thing. So it wasn't 25. It was just 12.5. Much more reasonable.
An eighth of
So
a
really with two people, it's like, oh, it's only $6,250 per person. Like,
Yeah, but
well,
his
that's so
13-year-old
reasonable.
kid doesn't have any fucking money.
It's all gonna go to pay
probably
for
about
Dad's
4 or
MS
5
care.
hours.
Okay,
Well, that part
four
of
hours.
it
So walk
won't.
us through what
Walk us through
that
your
day was
day.
like.
Let's hear it.
We met. We had, we talked about everything Kiss. We had a long dinner with him. Very knowledgeable, smart guy on everything. I couldn't believe, how much this guy knows.
Really?
And just super friendly.
What does he
made
know?
us
I'm
feel
so
comfortable.
curious.
We were able to do a sound check with the band, which was incredible. And we spent most of the day just talking about life, life on the road, not only my life, but his life.
Zach, I understand that you
After
have
about
a,
40
a
minutes of that, he
song
was
you
like,
were
how
able-
much
you
time do I
snuck-
have left? And how much do I want to
Yeah,
spend it talking to
I'm
Jesus?
now imagining. I'm imagining Gene Simmons sitting there pretending to listen to this guy talk about his life. Just be like, "This guy paid me how much? When can I get out of here? What's going on?"
They both
put on the guitar, strapped on the guitar, and were able to play a little bit of a song that you had composed yourself. And what was the name of the song, and what was it like playing with Gene Simmons?
That's a dork.
That's a dork.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Okay. And what was that? Why is it the name of the title of the song? And what was that like playing with Gene Simmons for a little bit there?
It
It was
sucked.
cool. It was cool, like playing with Gene Simmons' band and all of that.
And all
I was
of
a little
that.
nervous at first, but I went with the flow.
Yeah, and Zach, what did you think of Gene?
Very nice guy.
Yeah, nice guy. Did you learn anything from him?
Study hard, kid. You'll never make it in music.
Yeah, like if you're getting old, do you just stop and sit down in your rocket chair, or do you speed up before you hit the finish line?
Love it.
What?
I understand, like you guys had talked about retirement.
Wait, hold on.
and
Could
when
you go
did
back to
learn-
the image on the screen before the one we're currently looking at, please? Is that Fred Armisen in Gene Simmons makeup? Like seriously, that looks like Fred Armisen.
Today on Portlandia, Gene
What the-
Simmons makes an appearance.
That's fucking
talked about
disturbing.
retirement. And Dwayne,
Maybe
what
he
did you
just
learn
sends
from
Fred
him just
Armisen
in
to go
terms of
meet
him
these
talking
fucking
about
people.
because he has had
He
such
gives
an
8
amazing
grand of the 12
life
grand to
and
Fred
a lot
Armisen.
of pretty spectacular things that have happened in his life. What were some of the things that you guys kind of could relate to?
There,
We
just
talked about what
Oh,
Shannon
deep.
Tweed's
With
music
Our
is
love
like.
of music,
Yeah.
and Zach shares the same love of music.
I
and
forced
didn't
upon
know
him.
He played at the Count.
Being in a band with
Theater,
Paul Stanley for
which is
20
like
years
a-
is
a
like
swing
having
band,
MS.
that I
I
never
can
knew
relate to
about.
you.
That was more of Gene's time, Gene's era of music. So he was just He made us super comfortable, and his
I
life
said he
is a
made
little
us
bit
soup.
different than mine. He has the money,
Delicious.
and what I explained to him, and it's on a different level, is that some people spend their money on cigarettes or other things that they might like, and even though the price tag was high, it's something that we enjoy together, so it was worth it for us. And I encourage anybody, to try it and to do it, because Gene is a great guy.
Thanks for the encouragement. I wasn't going to do it, but now that this guy encouraged me,
yeah.
Thanks for the free ad. I will not be
Middletown,
paying
New
you for
York.
any
Middletown,
amount
New
of money for that plug that you just made.
bless their hearts.
So MS is not like life-threatening, right? It's just a really debilitating, annoying disease to have, but you don't die, right?
I think that's correct.
So I can excuse him taking some of his time and going to hang out with Gene Simmons. That's at least it's not like precious moments. You don't want to. If you're dying, you don't want to spend any time with Gene Simmons.
Well, we're all dying.
Right, that's fair. Okay, you know what? You've swayed me. Don't go see Gene Simmons. We're all going to have. We all have some time bank.
Yeah, we all have limited time on this earth.
Every person is a unique snowflake that has their own specific reason to not spend time with Gene Simmons.
That's well said.
Whether it's MS or something else.
This little girl. So I wanted to play this video because I really.
Rob's got a video of a little girl. Where's this going?
No! Oh my God! Ew! No, this video went viral. So
more people arresting you, Rob. Be careful.
I feel like there's nothing in this world more stressful than air travel at the moment. It just sucks. Something always goes wrong. There's always a delay, and I feel like you just want to be left alone. You want to get to your destination. You want to get out of there. So what's going on is there was this flight that was delayed 2 hours, and it was circling Orlando. And somebody thought that this would be the perfect way to calm everyone down, which would be get on the intercom and let this little girl perform a little bit.
Every trail I track, every path I make, every road leads back to the place I know where I cannot go, where I love.
Can you imagine just sitting in this plane for 2 hours? I mean, me personally, I
how long
have my headphones still on.
How
but the
much
batteries
of the
might
2
be
hours
dead.
was this girl singing?
This was
it
after
just
2
one
hours.
song?
She hopped on.
Oh, okay.
At least for 2 minutes.
And there, I missed part of the beginning of this. Were they on the tarmac or are they in the air already?
They're circling the airport for 2 hours.
I was gauging whether I would have jumped out the window or not, but I guess not.
Yeah, like how low to the ground was the plane at this point?
Somebody said I would have thrown a shoe like a George W. Bush.
What song is this? I know this song. What is this?
I don't know.
There's just no telling how far I'll go. I know everybody on this
Is it Moana?
has a role on this island.
Yeah, it's from
You're
Moana.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Good
how
job,
far I'll go
Darren.
from
Wow.
Moana. Oh my goodness.
I know every
I know.
has a role on this island, so maybe I can roll with mine.
Did the girl ask to do this? Did like her parents?
I mean,
Yeah, she thought this would cheer everyone up.
I think this is
a
just
girl
as,
that gets a lot of positive affirmations.
as cruel as this is to the passengers. I think this is worse, more cruel to the girl, because you're giving her like the false sense that she is talented at singing this song.
Well, let's see what the reaction is when she's done. If everybody's just like
fair.
quiet, then
Right. Maybe the parents that can encourage this to get her a bad reaction. That's a good point. Maybe I'm wrong.
Where was this flight going to? Do we know?
Orlando.
Oh, so that's why she's doing the. Okay.
It's going to hell like the ship from Event Horizon with Lawrence Fishburne. They're all just going to have bulls coming out of their chests at the end.
You know, all the people on this flight are parents of kids excited to go to Disney that have heard this song 5 million fucking times and do not want to hear it again. And now they're stuck on the plane hearing this fucking Moana song for the 5 million and first time. Oh my God.
Up next, Baby Shark. Doot, 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 doot.
Oh, so people are singing. People are joining.
Yeah, to
They're
drown her out.
And it seems like it's calling out to me, so come find me and let me know.
I mean, she's not bad.
It's a classic example of like being on key, but no personality in your singing.
For sure. Yeah.
So it's like it's like AI singing.
Like if you went to a junior high school musical, this girl would be singing. You'd be like, yeah, this is about right for that level of performance.
But it's like giving somebody an A+ for the most mediocre thing. That's that's the issue. Not that she's.
Yeah.
I'd rather it be horrible. There'd be something entertaining about it being horrible.
The street. I have.
What's that? That's the next person that went on the mic there on the PA after her. I'm crossing the street and this plane just. Was that Fat Joe? Is he doing anything this week?
Watching the Knicks.
Fat Joe was not in the
eliminated
news
tonight.
So I hope he flies to Indiana to see it. Too.
Oh my God!
Is it in Indiana this evening?
Yes.
Yes, I guess so. Right, they have the home field advantage.
No, they don't. They took it away. They started
in the series, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, they took it away by winning 2 games in New York.
There was this Fat Joe podcast is going pretty viral because I haven't listened to this, but this has over 200 retweets today. So let's see what Fat Joe is up to.
I'm just not cock diesel. I don't believe my body. My body is like
What?
Tyson Fury.
That was a good comparison. Oh shit, that was the second best thing he ever.
Let me tell you something. He'll knock you out.
Hell yeah.
But he looks flabby and sick. Like you looking at like Tyson Fury.
See, you don't look
the
flabby and sick.
No, I don't look flabby and
You
sick.
don't
But
look sick.
the man looked like
He was the chair. He retired. Oh, he's
the
still
man
fighting.
can't get a 6-pack.
He knocked
but he
bad
got
niggas
some
up.
shit in there. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like that. You know, I'm not
That was the
cock
best.
diesel. I'm not hanging
Make
on
sure-
the side of a
Make sure
building.
that's the clip.
Listen.
That gotta be a clip. I'm like Tyson Fury. That was the hardest. I'm trying to get crazy and shit.
They're having fun, folks.
Yeah, good for them, I guess.
You know what I discovered this week, by the way, because of Fat Joe being in the news, or at least on social media a lot lately, is there was someone called him out because about like 15 years ago, I didn't know this till just this week. He had a song he had a line in a song that was like, "No black person can tell me not to say the N-word. I'm just gonna say it over and over." And in the song,
I share this in our Discord this week. Yeah.
Oh, I thought I saw that independently. Sorry. I didn't remember seeing it in the Discord. That's a good reason to bring it up then. Yeah, by the way, also a good reason to publicize the Discord, which is
Yeah, he basically said, who said I can't say the N-word? Watch this. And then he just says the N-word like 10 times on beat.
And he's a white guy. I mean, let's be real. He's a white guy. He's a Latino of clearly white stock, right? He's a white Latino.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you walk around New York, everybody is saying.
Yeah. Well, white people don't really say it.
Yeah, but everybody else.
I feel like around the time
Latino and black. My barbershop is Latino and black, and all the Latino guys are saying N-words.
Do they ever call you that, Rob?
No, not directly, no. But it's more of like a passive. It's more of like a passive thing. Like these people over here, you know,
it means the word man. It's this guy.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah.
But when I feel like the use of the N-word casually exploded after like the early 90s, like with like Dr. Dre using it a lot on his records and stuff. And like That's when white people started using it for about 2 years. I heard that. And then it went away because they got very threatened.
And let's say just like white people, you mean like high school kids. I don't think it was like grown-ass white people were using it, but like if you went on the subway, like every white teenager was saying it.
That's definitely true. And I hear it once in a while from white people, but very rarely. When I see them in a group in an area that's lily white and they know there's no people of color around, they will but they're not saying it just to be clear.
They're not calling a black person that. They're just using it the way a black person would
They're
use
trying to be cool, but they know enough not to do it around people of color.
Yeah.
It's just a very funny phenomenon. But Fat Joe is definitely, I mean, do you guys disagree with me? Fat Joe is white, right? I mean, he's white. He's Latino for sure.
Latino,
but he's
I mean, he's
I'm part Latino, but I would never say I'm not a white guy.
It's very questionable for him to be using that word, but who am I to say either way? Yeah.
If Jadakiss says it's allowed, I guess it's allowed.
Yeah. That's fine with me. Yeah.
It's not even a question of allowed. I'm just saying like the debate about whether he's white or not, which is raging in Twitter.
Oh, it is really?
Yeah. If you follow that link that Rob provided, which I did, there was a big argument about it. And then there's a second step removed whether those people can say the word or not.
Dusty Rose Muffler shared this clip of friend of the show Mike Francesca talking about his new obsession, which is apparently granola bars. Let's take a listen.
I don't put a lot of. I mean, I don't. You know, I've never have. I mean, I've never tried to say a whole lot of things. I'm not trying to.
Coke. I love that he takes the sip just as he says, "I'm not trying to sell you anything."
With the Bet Rivers logo right over his shoulder.
Yeah, he's not trying to sell you anything. And on his watermark over here.
My son Jack is home for the summer, obviously, from school. Before he goes back,
I wonder if he still likes wrestling.
And they, all three of them go back to school in the fall.
Well, he's at the Heart Dungeon. That's a school, so yeah.
He's working in one of Mike Rapoli's businesses this summer as an intern. And he brings me tonight this bar. Now, I'm not someone who eats this earthy, crunchy stuff, okay? It's just not my thing. It never has been.
Nature Valley, I think.
But tonight he's working for this one of Rapoli's many companies, and he has a bunch for the summer. And he said, "Dad, you gotta try this." So he brings me home. I'm like, I don't want to try. So me, I'm like, I don't like to try stuff.
Look at those shiny teeth.
They always make fun of me in the house because I'm not daring when it comes to that. Like
daring, granola is daring.
Mike Francesca would never have Holodetz.
And I don't like earthy, crunchy stuff. So I tried this bar today. It's called Junkless.
Daring.
Chewy.
Daring.
Granola
Does he
bars.
just
And
say
I'm thinking,
Jewy?
Hold on.
Never
Go back.
Chewy drizzled.
go to a store and drizzled granola bars.
Go back. What's it called?
It's called Junkless.
Junkless.
Chewy drizzled granola bars. And I'm thinking, I would never go into a store and pick up a granola bar in 1,000 years. Ever. This thing is delicious.
Oh boy.
It's 130 calories.
It's totally paid for
It's
this, right? I mean,
It's gotta be.
chewy drizzled granola bar. Berries and cream is the flavor. It says real ingredients, less sugar, more taste, no fake stuff. It's called Junkless. You can get
Hold it up to the
at,
camera, Mike. Don't
Target
forget
or
to
the
do that.
grocery store, ShopRite, or Stop and Shop, or all
Stop and
those
Sheep.
kind of stores. Junkless. I don't know what it costs. I apologize. I don't know what anything costs. I really don't.
I just
don't do.
write a
I
blank
don't know.
check.
I have
It's
no
a
idea.
promo-
He asked me
promo
like
bar.
what a dozen eggs were. I have no idea. I go to the store to get like water, soda, things that my
Soda.
wife doesn't want to carry, so that I'll run in early in the morning and get soda and get big things of water, big things of soda. Other than that, that's get Snapple stuff.
By
like
the way, that
Other
reminds
than
me,
that,
Hal Seltzer. I really love it. Let me hold it up to the
This
camera right here.
It's not big. It's 130 calories.
Oh my God, we
And
get it.
like
It's
I
a
said, I
fucking
would never
granola
eat a
bar.
granola bar ever.
I feel like 130 calories for a granola bar is a lot. I don't know.
It's about.
But I had one before, and I got to tell you, I said I got to mention it on the show. This thing is really good. So Check it out. I'm
Check it
telling you,
out.
and I never recommend products ever. You know that. I really don't. If I recommend
Well,
a
you're
product,
doing it right
it's
now.
good. Like I recommended Casamigos because number one, a good friend of mine and my racing partner.
Now we get a
Lee
20-minute
Einsider ran the company.
explanation
But
why
the
he's endorsing
tequila,
something.
everyone raved about it. People used to beg me to give it to them. They loved it. I mean, they would want it for Christmas. They would love it. I couldn't get enough from them. It was unbelievable. But
Everyone
Jack
in
put on
Mike's
these
life is
things,
just around him to get
junkless.
free gifts.
Yes.
Comes in a couple of different flavors. This one is
What else
berries
is there?
and cream.
Like tickets
Can't believe
and free
chewy.
shit. Yeah.
I'm genuinely stunned he's still on this.
Drizzled
Drizzle.
granola bar.
He's so
And I'm telling
fascinated
you,
by this
it is
drizzle and no
actually,
fake stuff.
Like really good.
I mean,
And
they
I
paid
like
for a 7-minute ad.
sweet.
You
Like
gotta-
I have a sweet
gotta
tooth.
get there.
So
Oh,
I
he's
like
got a sweet
ice cream,
tooth. Oh,
I like
Mikey.
Italian ices. I like stuff like that.
It's money.
Okay.
We
I'm not
knew
a big
that
cookies
already.
person. Never have been. But this is delicious
You
and
seem
it's
a
good
little
for you.
expensive. I got to
So,
be honest with you.
Junkless is the name of it. And
4
it'll be a hit
boxes are
because, hey,
$24. I guess a box
Rapoli
is
doesn't
$6. That's all
have
right.
anything but hits. I
Seems
mean,
a little
absolutely.
much.
So you know his background and all the different stuff he has, but he's involved in a million different things, and this is one of his deals. So check it out. Weird
Well, I
name,
guess he's not
obviously,
being paid for it.
junkless,
It's just
but
his son works
it's
for the
junkless,
company,
and
so
you
he's
know what?
helping his
Yeah.
son
It's
out.
really good.
His son is
It
interning
really
for this
is.
company
It's
that's run
delicious.
by
So
a
check
friend
it
of
out.
Mike's.
And I promise you, you'll email me and tell me it was delicious. And it's 130 calories.
Yeah, and there's his email, Mike Francesca podcast @gmail. Let him know.
And it's good for you. So
Sure.
I'm trying to give you something good to eat that you can munch on.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Like during the day at work or, just for a healthy snack.
Well,
or
he
something
once
like
again
that. Not bad.
mentioned the
Or when you're
drizzle.
watching the Knicks game, junkless. Check it out. There's a couple of different
While you're
bars.
watching the Knicks
and,
lose,
I
while
get
you're
other
watching the
flavors
Knicks
when I
drizzle
get 'em. I told 'em to
misery
bring
on
me some
you.
different flavors to check out.
You're
'cause I like
watching the last Knicks game of the year. Eat your
Yeah.
junkless. As you're climbing the light stanchion in front of MSG to commit suicide after the Knicks lose, make sure your last meal is a junkless granola bar.
Are they doing a Radio City watch along tonight for?
Of course. What else do
I
these
think there's
fucking
one at
losers
the
have to do?
Oculus. I saw.
The Oculus?
If you wanna go
Yeah,
around.
that train station in Lower Manhattan next to the World
They-
Trade Center.
really?
You don't know about the Oculus?
No, I didn't know that they do watch parties.
I mean, it's a gigantic fucking place. I didn't know that either. Is that outside the Oculus or in it?
I'm not. I think outside. I assume that these are
Oh.
outside.
Goodbye to all those shop windows and
Oh my
storefronts.
God.
Good luck with that. The Oculus, for people not in New York City, they right out when they rebuilt the World Trade Center with that new ugly ass penis building. They also built a mall like right a few blocks away from it, and it's like has an adjoining train station, and it's got this futuristic architecture. It looks like it's from the future, from sci-fi. It's just got a bunch of shops and crap inside.
It's nice and useless.
Yes. It's a paean to architecture, to the capitalism. It's like, look at what we can build for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Yeah. To show the terrorists they didn't win, Darren. That's why we do it.
Right. Let's do more of the thing that they bombed us for.
Yeah.
Burn money and take it and lots of more war and more shitty buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still
At
think
least-
they should have built two towers.
Why do you say that?
Just how dare they? How dare they take us out?
Yes, we only have one. This is what they took from us. One ugly penis building less. Is what we have now. Giant penis reaching up to the sky to say "fuck you" to the world.
It's not nice.
I agree.
I'm just trying to see how much these tickets are. So wow, there's one in Central Park. There's one in the Garden.
Come on.
They want to milk as much. They know this is about to run out. They want to milk as much cash out of this bullshit as they can.
I hope so.
Oh
Don't choke Pacers, please.
Wow, I was just trying to see how much tickets were for this watch party. There's 18 people ahead of me in the queue.
Oh God.
For this watch party. All right. Anyway,
That
let's talk
Joe is
about our
one of
news.
them. Be ready.
Wait. A queue to just find out how much the prices
Oh,
are? Or
it's sold out even. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
Bunch of losers who love watching the loser team. What can you say?
I just can't imagine going to an arena where the game isn't happening to pay arena prices for concessions
and to watch TV.
Yeah,
but with your friends, maybe you have your own Bing Bong moment and you become internet famous. That's what they all want.
Does anyone really want that? You see those people? They're like source of ridicule.
They think they're great, though. They think they're celebs. Fucking
I think they're
Carl
funny.
Anthony Towns is wearing a T-shirt
I was
with
just gonna
one of
say.
the fucking Bing Bong people on it recently.
That guy's making quite a killing on merch with his face on a shirt.
No.
I mean, okay. Did you like? It's like just being a dancing orangutan or something. It's just like
it's just a meme. Man, tickets for the fucking playoffs are crazy.
Yeah.
20,000 for floor seats.
When it's Oklahoma City versus Indiana in the finals, though, it probably will be a little bit more reasonably priced.
that's another reason if you don't like the Knicks to root for, root for the Knicks. If you don't care about the Knicks, I should say, root for Indiana because it'll fuck the network's ratings. It'll fuck. Is it on ESPN or only
ESPN.
ABC?
I guess ABC. The probably
Same thing.
simulcast.
The executives will jump out the window at an Indiana Oklahoma City finals.
Well, that's why everybody's always like, watch out in these last few games. The refs are going to be favoring the Knicks.
They need more than that, though. Come on. They need bigs, not refs.
Yeah.
Is this a real thing? Is
What?
there cheating in the NBA?
I
or is
mean,
it
there's no
speculation?
evidence of it, but people always say
right
that the powers that be want the bigger market teams, so they will have the refs do everything in their power to make that happen.
I mean, listen, millions of dollars are at stake. I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't know. I don't know how it would happen or whatever. I don't have.
So
any
let's
evidence.
talk about our Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
Hopefully the Knicks will listen so they could have one last listen before they get eliminated. Am I right? I don't care.
Sure.
I'm over it.
Let's hope. Well, I hope you're right, though.
I feel like it's very hard. Like, even if they win this game, I feel like it'd be like it's very challenging to win 4 games in a row. That's a lot to ask.
3.
Big ass. 3 in a row? Okay.
Yeah. They lost the first 2, won the third one, lost the fourth one, won the fifth one.
I see. Well,
but still, it's very rare to happen.
So let's talk about our Spotify picks. Each week, we each pick a song. We throw it on our break. RIP a Livecast music break is what you search for on Spotify. You can also find it at our website, ripalivecast.com. Before we do that, actually, I want to say I have an RIP this week. This week, RIP Alf Clausen, the composer for The Simpsons. What an influence on me! Like, it totally. People have been sharing some pieces, and I never even considered like how how much of a presence he had in my life with all of these songs, like The Land of Chalk. Basically, any music other than the intro, he wrote.
He didn't write that?
The Golden Era.
No, that was Danny Elfman.
Danny
right?
Elfman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
Danny
right.
Elfman. But even like Sideshow Bob's theme, like dun dun. I didn't really like those. Anyway, so a true legend. And R.I.P. Rick Derringer, who is actually my pick for this week. Rick Derringer wrote "I Am a Real American," the iconic Hulk Hogan entrance, and in my opinion, the even better Demolition entrance theme. One of the first metal songs I ever heard.
Mm-hmm.
And the song still slaps. Also co-written by Jimmy Hart,
of course,
JJ McGuire.
Didn't Rick Derringer write basically all of that Pile Driver album too?
Yeah,
I had no
first
idea.
2
That's
albums.
crazy.
Yeah, he did Pile Driver and the wrestling album. Yeah, and then, with Jimmy Hart, of course, also contributed to it.
That
But
Coco
it's
Beware
wild.
song is a banger. I should play that next week. Remember that? Sometimes love, it feels like an argument. It feels just like a pile driver.
I love that video.
Yeah, it's Coco Beware with like a construction outfit and doing a jackhammer. And then like all the other wrestlers have cameos doing like construction work. It's very funny.
Yeah, there's Hogan in construction stuff, and like the heels don't know how to use the equipment.
Even Hulk Hogan even had to muscle his way into Coco Beware's fucking video. Fuck you, Hulk Hogan.
What a disgrace.
Hey, brother. Brother, remember when that time we did a duet on Pile Driver Coco, brother?
Sid, what's your pick?
Well, this week was the season finale of Everybody's Live with John Mulaney, and the musical guest was Slater Kinney with Fred Armisen on drums. Something I typically would be very excited for. They did a cover of the song Kids in America, and it was one of the most boring performances and covers of any song I've ever seen in my life. It was just fucking dead, and I was very disappointed. Then I remembered that one of my favorite bands, The Muffs, covered that song for the Clueless soundtrack, but I've already picked a Muff song for the playlist, so my rule is I can't. So I picked a different song off the great Clueless soundtrack. I picked Cracker doing a cover of Shake Some Action by the Flamin' Groovies, which is probably the second best cover on that album.
It was a long journey to get to that.
Yeah. And speaking of long journeys, we have a user-submitted playlist pick this week from Sir Toast-A-Lot from the Discord, a Brit. And this is going to be quite a long journey, so bear with me. His original pick was the song Already Yours by the band Curve from their 1992 album Doppelganger. It's an unusual choice, but a great opening track. He says he can hardly imagine himself floating across a grassy field when he listens to it. The singles Horrorhead and Fait Accompli would be the popular obvious selections, but in terms of the album's production team of Alan Moulder and Flood, they have connections to Depeche Mode and Rob's favorite Nitzer Ebb. It's a little more before his time, but in retrospect, Curve had very promising start, mainly with the first couple EPs and debut LP. Unfortunately, their star faded by the mid to late 90s. They definitely didn't fit in with the Britpop movement. Maybe Republica owes them a beer or three. After all, they mixed rock guitar plus electronica and were fronted by an appealing female vocalist. Now, the issue with all of this is that this particular song is not available on Spotify in the United States. So he had to pick a different song by Curve. He ended up picking Recovery from the album Come Clean. And he says, North Americans can't access the older material, but this track kind of has the same vibe. He'd still recommend that listeners explore Doppelganger by any means possible. Whew! There we go. Darren, what's your pick?
Well, my pick is a company. It's like a cameo in a story that I have to tell, because I was on the subway train in New York City. And lo and behold, one stop after I get on, an army of crust punks walks in with their rucksacks on their back and two pit bulls. Maybe the dirtiest people I've ever seen. They look like they just crawled out of a chimney. They sit down. There was a black guy with Joker makeup on, which is not in that photo. That is half
Rob
of
has
them.
a photo to share.
I took a stealth photo of them, but that's like maybe not even. It's like 1/3 of the people. They were spread out. Their bags were all over the floor. Their dogs were all over the floor, and they were having.
Was there that smell of BO?
Yes, and there was this whole, and they were very racially diverse, by the way. There was a Latino, there was a Chinese guy, there was two black guys. One of the black guys had Joker makeup and had a serious receding hairline. He looked like in 10 years he'd be Stanley from The Office. And but they were having a loud, spirited conversation of it was the most self-important thing. It was like about like living in this nomad style and all this stuff. And then a guy confronted them. A guy who looked like kind of like the modern day version of Alex P. Keaton, like just like kind of
a young Republican,
like a future finance guy, maybe, but he was like 21. He's like just started interviewing them like he was Mike Wallace, and he was like not being a dick, but like being a dick kind of by like sort of fetishizing them, I guess. So they took offense to it, and they were like, one of the black guys started. This guy visible here, the black guy in the photo started. You sound stupid, like you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then one of the girls is like, oh, he's not saying anything offensive. He just doesn't get it. Leave him alone. They were like about to fight. And they're like, get off at the next stop. We'll fuck you up. And look, and this guy here in the farthest left visible guy, he holds up his hands and he has these studs coming out of his.
Oh my God, his knuckles.
This is why I have this. I'll bury this like deep in your face or whatever.
God.
But this whole time they were singing. Like in between before the guy confronted them, they started singing this song, which I Googled it, and it's by Mischief Brew, and it's called "Roll Me Through the Gates of Hell, Boys." And actually, listen to this song; it wasn't bad. I'm not really a punk guy.
Yeah, it's like folk punk. It's sort of like Against Me, but even folkier.
Yeah, but I used it because before that guy confronted them, I had a little interaction with them.
Oh,
because what the other black guy not visible in this photo was
the Joker
smoking.
makeup one.
The Joker makeup guy was smoking a cigarette, and I said to him, I socially engineered this. I was like, listen, you guys seem like really nice people. And you were even singing a song. I Googled it and I said, you were singing Mischief Brew, which was really cool. I have no idea.
Nice.
I was trying to worm my way into but I just ask you one thing. Would you just mind not smoking a cigarette? It just really bothers me. And he's like my lungs. Now it doesn't bother me. I'm not judging you morally, but like I just, it makes me tough for me to breathe. Oh, dude, you asked so nicely, man. No problem, bro. I'll put the cigarette out. No problem. Smoking when you get off, whatever. So nice. And then it was like 45 seconds later, that other guy walked up and they started fucking beefing with that guy. But there's one little coda to this story, which is when I got off the train, the guy with the studs on his thing, he as I'm walking out the door, he goes, "Hey, give your mom my phone number, man." And
what?
I was like, I just had to laugh. It was so fucking stupid. Like, just such a non sequitur. Like, he didn't say nothing to me the whole time. And he just had to be a tough guy, had to be a dickhead. So anyway, that's my story. And
you should have called this bluff and be like, "Oh yeah, you have a phone. What's your phone number?"
Yeah, she loves dirty, disgusting people that smell like shit. I'm sure she'll be happy to talk to you. There's so many. I wish I also recorded a little bit of audio from when but I was through my phone, like a video pointed at the floor at my feet, so they wouldn't see that I didn't think it was a good idea to start filming them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had an interaction between them, and I think no, it's not. I was gonna say that person's arm I thought was the finance bro, but it's not. I got some video of them going back and forth with that guy, but it's just you only hear it, like can't see it. I'll see if that came out good. I actually didn't review it yet.
Got to post that in the Discord if we.
Yeah, will do. But I actually liked the song. I was kind of surprised. They were yelling it out, and the lyrics sounded interesting, and I kind of liked it. Not my kind of music.
So, also want to mention if you find yourself needing a little more livecast in your life, or you want to throw us a bone, hit up our Patreon, patreon.com/RIPLivecast. I don't know why I said that so chastising.
Yeah,
like, do you want to throw us a bone?
I don't like bones. You send us money. It's fine.
All right, patreon.com/RIPLivecast. $4 a month. It gets you access to our bonus episodes. We have 5 years of bonus episodes now. Tons of stuff in there. It's all very good. It's very funny. And tomorrow or tonight, midnight, 3 a.m. Eastern, we're posting a watch along of Homie Spumoni, which is one of my favorite watch alongs we've done. It's with Donald Faison, Whoopi Goldberg's in it, Jamie Lynn Sigler, a bunch of other people who actually put in good performances on a very bad script.
Yeah.
From the guy who wrote a bunch of Farley brother movies that they didn't write themselves. So it was a fun watch. We had a fun roast, some twists and turns, and there's tons of stuff in there. There's other watch alongs. There's listen alongs to albums. We watch some black metal documentaries, some metal movies, listen to some metal albums like Megadeth's Risk we listened to recently, Guns N' Roses' Chinese Democracy, Lulu, Saint Anger. We torture ourselves for your amusement. And so hang out with us on our Patreon, patreon.com/RIPLivecast. If you donate $8, you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. And I don't know how we're doing this.
Mike Francesca recommends a different health food item to each of these people.
Benjamin, I really think we should try Stacy's pita chips. Normally, I am not a pita chips fan, but that with a little bit of the Whole Foods organic hummus is absolutely delicious. I recommend the organic store brand and not Sabra because I, Mike Francesca, am BDS. Dan,
wow.
Dan R., I think what you need in your life is some more Brussels sprouts. Now, here's the thing. The hardest part about Brussels sprouts is the prep. Get the pre-cut Brussels sprouts. You just put them in your oven. You're good. Shasuits. You're drinking too much coffee. Switch to tea. Switch to this tea. It has a little bit of chocolate drizzle in it. It's delicious. Only 375 calories. Land O'Danks. I think you need to switch from the marijuana to the wheatgrass. Okay, different type of greens. Put them in your smoothie. Put a little apple in there. Put some soda in there. It'll be all right. LaCroix. You've had too much carbonated water. You know how Mike likes the water, okay? But don't do it. Switch just to still water. You can't. Your ulcers are getting bad. Corey at Scotty H. Eat your vegetables. Go to get 8 hours of sleep. Aaron.
Oh, who cares?
You want less dressing on your salad. The dressing is where all the calories are hiding now. You don't want those calories. Jeremy, stay away from the carbs. You don't want those carbs. Mr. Schmertzler, you got a problem with processed sugars and nitrates. Stop eating those meat sticks. Stop eating those Twix bars in between class.
Okay.
Douglas, who are you? Levison, who are you? Your BMI shows you're overweight. That's who you are. Slinkies. Now, Slinkies, you got the opposite problem. You got to eat a sandwich. You got to carb up. You're a little too thin, a little too scrawny. We got Janda. You just got to change your name. That'll make you healthier. I don't know.
Who's Stan Lee?
And Randy Blair, lay off the Polish kielbases. Bad for you. Get nitrate-free cold cuts. That's my show, folks. That's the show. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Until then, we love you. We kiss you. Bye-bye.
Sid is a guy who is just delusional, okay?